Hello and welcome to the Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a Lego set and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Tier 2 Blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes, or if you feel like being a lurker, go ahead and lurk. Aristophan is here with the Tier 2, so also put in the chat those emotes as a thank you to Aristophan. Aristophan, thank you very much. That's 58 months. That's so many months. You are our Tier 2 supporter. We appreciate you very, very much here. Also, Mjon, you got to put emotes in it for Mjon saying, I just got these emotes. Mjon subbed with Prime for 21 months. Thank you so much to Mjon. Welcome, welcome. And Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. And Lord Crashington is here. Hello, Lord Crashington. We got a great crew already. It's Monday. You may have noticed that I'm washed out. And that's because I rearranged where my lights are. And unfortunately, the trade-off between actually making my work surface bright on camera and making me totally visible is I haven't balanced it properly. But the overhead's going to look way better. And we'll just go to that now. Who cares? Let's go to that now. Overhead's way brighter than it was. We've got our base here for our, we're working on our Parrot for the Lego 3-in-1 exotic Parrot. So we're building the base for the Parrot. And yeah, and I think like me smaller, I don't look as washed out. It's when you go to this that I seem more washed out. But if I go and, basically I move the overhead in a way that it is now shining down from more above on the side over here. And that does mean that it does also brighten my face because there's no good place to... If I move it... that's... we're in the sun there, and if I do that... That is better. We got this effect there, but this is still very bright. It's not in my way. Okay, you know what? Fixed it. I got a little bit of brightness over there that I don't love. Also, more so than normal, we dropped some frames, but that's fine. For whatever reason, tonight anyway, I'm getting a lot of delay, a much longer delay than normal between what I'm saying and when y'all hear it on stream. And that's weird, so let me just do a quick little test here. Boop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's less. That's more than normal. So that's interesting. So I guess I'll have to pause a little bit more when I'm looking for a response from y'all in chat. I'll just have to remind myself that there might be a little bit more of a delay than normal. I'm trying to have just basically no delay as much as possible. But that's more than normal. Okay. That's going to be fine. Tonight's agenda. Working on this Lego set. This fine Lego set. Thank you to the person that picked this up off my wish list. I believe it's Matthew. Thank you for that. Or Matthew bought... No, I believe Matthew bought this. So thank you very much. There will be a video up, another mailbag video out tomorrow for everybody to watch. Because that's right, friends. I got more in the mail. I got a Lego set they're going to build in the future because Harold is currently overseas on vacation. So when Harold returns from vacation, then we'll get into that Lego set. But also, John, who's in the chat very infrequently, not in John. This is a different John. This is a Jay, John. John bought me a very expensive model kit. I'm going to build a master grade for the first time in a while, and I'm very excited about building a goddamn big old master grade from Gundam Seed. I won't say which one. You got to watch the video tomorrow. But that's the next thing we're going to build, unless something else comes in. Also, for my birthday, Dustin bought a gift card to USA Gundam Store, which I got a model kit from, a Witch from Mercury model kit that I'm excited to build, and that is not shipped yet. Sounds like another cool John. Indeed, John. Also a cool John. But that kit has not, they haven't mailed it out yet. I bought it. later on Friday, and they just haven't shipped it, which I understand. USA Gundam Store probably got a lot of orders coming through. I keep getting ads for stuff they have on sale, but they have not shipped my product yet. But once they do, it'll arrive here pretty dang quick. Pretty dang quick. So let's put this here. Let's just get this on the roof that's there. We'll build over in here. We're going to build 2 flowers here. We'll get into that. Oh, I should reply to my own tweet. See if we can get a few more friends to join us, because that's always nice. So let's do that. And why do I have a bunch of notifications? Oh, that was nice. Sandra replied. Grappler Guru retweeted my tweet, which is nice. Thank you. Oh, that's Yin Dark. Yin Dark, we know from chat. Yin Dark, who changes their display name on Twitter, and I have to get used to it again every time, which is fine. That's their prerogative. They can do what they want to do. But let's get into building. If you missed the stream, there's an archive up on my VODs channel. If you want to watch the VOD of Friday stream, no stream on Saturday. I should just put the VODs link in here. I'm going to put the VODs link in here. It's a bunch of random letters because I don't have enough followers there to do something cool with that. But my VODs channel on YouTube is there, or you can watch the VOD on good old Twitch here for a little while longer. Stream it well. If you missed it, we did hit our goal of 86 subscribers, which is my new record. Actually, we got up to 88 subscribers. So my new record is 88, which is a whole lot. That's a big number. That's a lot of subscribers. And so I feel very blessed about that. I thought the stream went really well. I'm happy. I was happy to have people hop in for a little while. I probably could have planned a few more events. I think, honestly, if I'm going to be honest, I assumed that making myself in WWE 2K23 was going to take longer. John says, I was on a plane all day then. Have to catch the VODs. Yes. So, there's a VOD there. It was a really fun time. I just say, Aristofan said, 88 allows you to go back in time. Yes, we got to go back in time. We gotta. That's a rule. All right, so then we're going to put these on. Okay, so this looks like that. That looks like that. Then one goes on here. We're just building the base. We haven't even built the parrot yet. We got to build the base before you put the parrot on the base. And then we got to put that there. All right, so I believe we are almost ready to transition into parrot time. Yes, we are almost ready for parrot time. If Abby was doing the creation, it might have taken longer based on her skills on that stuff. Yeah, I mean, look, does the creator wrestler in WWE 2K23 of me, Pat Baer, look like me? Yeah. Does it look more like Triple H? Also, yeah. It's not, it's not my best work in the world. It is my first time in a modern game making myself. I was pleased with the 2-layered approach we did for the beard to kind of recreate my facial hair. I'm still washed out here. All right. So this is not perfect. I like that this is so bright here, but now there's just too much light on me, and I'm going to have to change things around a bit. I wonder. Hold on. Do I like that? All right. Because I have one light that's on me, and then I have one that's supposed to be on here, but that's splashing into me. I can probably change it. I don't want to change it too much. I like that this is brighter than it's been. This feels okay. So you know what? If I'm a little washed out on build streams, I think that's fine. This one here won't be on when I am doing tomorrow's stream. Tell you about that. I got a stream tomorrow. You should check that shit out. It is the 100th episode of Pat Baer's Anime Club. It is a recording of that episode, and then that will go out the following Monday. But if you want to be there live while I talk about anime and all kinds of other shenanigans, your best bet for that is to come hang out with me while I record it. It is our spring wrap up and our summer preview. So we'll be taking a look at the anime that was and the anime that is to come, and chatting about through all that. It'll be a long stream because there's a lot of anime, and I try to talk about the stuff that I chose not to watch and the stuff that I've been watching but I haven't been talking about weekly. And then I also get into, the stuff that I'm excited about the next season, the stuff that, like, I haven't been paying attention at all, the stuff that I'm like, no, I've read a little bit of the manga, so no, I'm going to skip it, or I have no idea what this is, and I'm going to check it out, or this doesn't seem to be a thing that's coming out in the United States, that kind of thing. So that's tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern. The following Tuesday, we will, of course, be going back to Power Wash Simulator, because by then there will be DLC, the first ever paid DLC, because there's been some free DLC. This will be the first ever paid DLC by those fine folks, and it will be Bikini Bottom. We're going SpongeBob. We got a SpongeBob video game tie-in, and that's weird. I'm too old for SpongeBob. That's a weird thing to say. I was not the right age for SpongeBob when SpongeBob became the thing. I am culturally aware of SpongeBob. I get it. I understand some of the memes. I mostly understand the memes that don't require you to know anything about the cartoon. But, like, I don't know. So far, including this, the fine folks at Power Wash Simulator have not really been hitting my strong suits when it comes to tie-ins. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just haven't done that yet. It's not their job to just placate me, a customer, but I'm just not as familiar. Fans, I learned about SpongeBob through my kids. Yeah, I mean, like, this thing, right? Like, I'm 43 now. Weird. I'm 43. I don't really know SpongeBob because I didn't have kids that would have been into SpongeBob in the last so many years of me having children. SpongeBob was on the tail end of when I paid attention to Nickelodeon shows, but I'm not going to subscribe to Paramount Plus to watch the show there. There you go, right? I mean, well, I don't know. That's not my... Yeah. Are there more branches to build? See, I thought we were finally moving on to the Parrot because we got the legs going, but there's more to build here that's branch related. So we got to build a branch here. I thought we were finally building a fucking Parrot, but I guess not. So yeah, I'm excited about that. That's next Tuesday. We're almost in July, folks. We got a week of streams here, and then we'll be in July, that's right around the corner because my birthday happened. I guess before we get into Wrestle Talk, because there's going to be a lot of Wrestle Talk, because it was a really fucking good show last night, so I kind of want to talk about it in a venue that I have where I can talk about wrestling, which is this one. 43 seems fine. I don't have any complaints immediately. No real difference. Every year, less and less people write on my Facebook wall, happy birthday, because they're not on Facebook. And, like, new friends don't end up on Facebook. And that's something that it used to be. I don't mean to brag. A lot of people wish me a happy birthday on Facebook. And I would spend the whole day liking everyone, because that was funny to me. And now, I don't get as many. And that's fine, because I also don't write happy birthday on anyone's walls. Because I don't really use Facebook. There's a couple family members, that's the easiest way to keep in touch with them. But that's about it. The number one thing I know about my 43rd year is that I went out to eat so many times this week because also my uncle is in town. We went for lunch today. We went out, Wednesday, and then Saturday, and then... Did we go out yesterday too? We've been eating out. We've been going out for food quite a bit, which is fine. Oh, we did breakfast. That's right. We went out for breakfast on Sunday yesterday. So it's been nice. It's nice. My uncle did not expect to see him. He last year he announced that that was going to be his last year visiting people. He was going to stop traveling because he's in his 90s. But then this year he was like, I want to come in June. And we were like, okay, sure. So I got to see my uncle, which is very nice. Went out to dinner on Saturday for my birthday because my stream was on Friday and I didn't feel like I didn't want to go out. I wanted to stream instead. Then I took Saturday off because I didn't want to stream Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in a row. Which, I just didn't want to do that. All right, so there's a branch. Okay, so this is making it look like the parrot is sitting on some branches. I got that. Okay, that's fine. And now we got to build some talons for our parrot. Got to build some parrot talons, so let's do that. But yeah, it's been nice visiting with family. Obviously, I see my parents every day. So I certainly get to see them quite a bit. But this is nice to spend some time with my uncle as well. Very blessed to have that. Also, we as a collective were blessed last night with an incredibly good wrestling show. Like that transition? I don't know if you did, but I liked it. Forbidden Door 2, aka Forbidden Door 2023, was a wrestling show put on with help from New Japan, and it's an AEW pay-per-view put on by the fine folks at All Elite Wrestling in association with New Japan Pro Wrestling. It was a fantastic event, a very long one. Some say the best wrestling show of the year. Some say AEW's best pay-per-view ever. I would definitely say it was my second favorite wrestling show this year. It contained my second favorite wrestling match of the year. And it was, I think, probably my favorite AEW pay-per-view. Certainly of the year, perhaps of all time. They're not that old of a company, but still. Now you're saying, Pat, but it's so many people's favorites. I didn't watch, but I saw a gif of Punk getting elbowed, an elbow drop in the nuts, so pretty good show for me. Yeah. Lashbrook, it's a really fucking good show. We're going to talk about it. It's a good show. Here's Pat, how could this be your number 2 show of the year? How is this not your favorite match of the year? What's going on? How could this be possibly be? Well, you have to remember, I'm a fucking weirdo. I would not describe myself as as an otaku or a weeaboo. I do like Japanese stuff, but I don't fetishize it. Having said that, Hype was my favorite wrestling show of the year. Hyper Misao's show produced with Tokijoshi Pro Wrestling because it had great wrestling. And it was silly and weird and nonsensical, and it referenced incredible things. And one of my favorite wrestlers of right now, Hyper Misao, chose to make the show really about other wrestlers, an up-and-coming wrestler that grew leaps and bounds singularly in that match, and then other underappreciated talent within Tokijoshi Pro Wrestling got a chance to fucking shine. And it was weird and wonderful and surreal and nonsensical and gosh darn beautiful. It's like, yeah, so Hype is my favorite show of the year. Forbidden Door 2023 is a close second. But that's me because I'm, in some respects, weird. In many respects, I'm a goddamn. Oh, this is on backwards. Oh, it's on backwards. We gotta go like this. I'm a goddamn weirdo. So I like what I like. This show was good, and we'll talk about it now. The dark match, which we did not see, was Tom Lawler, aka Filthy Tom Lawler, defeated Serpentico by pinfall. We didn't see that. That was just for the crowd. That was also a make good for Tom Lawler, who was supposed to have a match with Adam Cole, but Adam Cole is currently under the weather. We don't know exactly what it is, but it was an illness, and they want him to be well, and he might also be kind of banged up from his last match with MJF, but also got to make sure Adam Cole is, if he's sick, stay home, because you don't want a bunch of other people getting sick, who also, some of whom are traveling from overseas and will be flying back to Japan. So, makes sense. Use the proper protocols. Make sure that he's okay. Tom Lawler's, paycheck ended up being a match with Serpentico. The crowd seemed to like it, apparently. According to reports. All right. We're finally getting into Bird. We're building a Bird. Fight Forever has the ability for your wrestler to come out with multiple belts. Just saw 5-belt Rio. That's cool. Oh, before I get into this, the pre-show matches, I should say, I do not plan on purchasing Fight Forever, because the thing I want from Fight Forever is the Create a Wrestler mode, which everyone is telling me is not good. I don't care about the wrestling part of it. I don't care about the single-player wrestling component or the online multiplayer component. I care about the Create a Wrestler for the purposes of the Build with Baer bonus streams. I only care about that. I do not care about the rest of it. And the rest of it could be great, but the Create a Wrestler part is severely lacking, and I'm not interested in that then. So I don't plan on getting that game, because also it's a video game that's not cheap. So I'm not wish listing it. I'm not asking for it. If it gets on deep discount, I will consider it at some point, because that game will hopefully have a long life. Also, Evil Uno's not in it. And that's just mean. It's rude. He should be in the video game. Need this. Okay. Actually, that's great. All right. Mogul Embassy, which is Swerve Strickland, Toa Leona, Brian Cage, and Bishop Khan, with Prince Nana, of course, defeated Chaos, represented in that match by Rocky Romero, Chuck Taylor, and Trent Beretta, the best friends, really, and El Desperado. So originally this was going to be a 6-man, and then it changed to an 8-man. My assumption is that something changed with Brian Cage's schedule, or the other possibility is last minute they were like, hey, can we get Desperado on the card, on the pre-show? And this was the easiest way. El Desperado fucking rules. He also was doing commentary later for the Japanese and New Japan. El Desperado fucking whips ass, and it was fun having him on an AEW show. Also, the character choice was that he was not super thrilled with the huggy nature of Chaos. He was not super thrilled to. He did not want to give the people what they want, which is a hug. Can they still not get Cage into Canada? I thought they dropped their vax restrictions. No, I said Brian Cage was there. Brian Cage originally was not included in Mogul Embassy when it was 6-man. My thinking was that, hello, welcome. My thinking was that this was a make good to get El Desperado in there. But yes, no, Brian Cage was in Canada. No problems there. Athena defeated Billy Starks in the women's Owen Hart Cup tournament. First round, expected. Billy Starks took a bump that was ridiculous and unnecessary. Come on, Billy. Come on. That bump, you did not need to do a bump on a pre-show in a losing effort match, but it was good. Athena fucking rules. Billy Starks rules. Athena will not win that tournament, but she'll make it pretty far in the tournament. So, I'm starting to think Britt is going to win it. It would be cool if Athena won, but I think Britt Baker's going to repeat. El Phantasmo defeated Stu Grayson by pinfall. I got that wrong, friends. I thought for sure. I forgot that they have to appease. It's two companies appeasing one another, and that I'd forgotten that. I was just looking at Stu Grayson abandoned his friends to join to hang out with the Righteous. Thank you, Shotput, for the follow. I appreciate that. So Stu's out here leaving the Dark Order behind and joining the Righteous, a different cult on Ring of Honor. So he should win a match. He should win this match so they can progress this storyline. But that had not occurred to me. Oh, hey, Shotput just subscribed to Tier 1. Appreciate that very much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe emote in the chat. And thanks Shotfoot for that. Appreciate you very much there. Thank you for subscribing. Always appreciate it. But let's throw the emotes in the chat. So I thought for sure that Stu Grayson was going to win, but he didn't. El Fantasmo won. El Fantasmo, who is basically in a weird place in New Japan, like just in a weird place, a weird spot, in that he was Bullet Club for life, but didn't like the new direction of Bullet Club. So now he's not Bullet Club for life. He's not in Bullet Club. And it's like, oh, okay, then I don't know what he's doing. What's he doing? Winning a match against Stu Grayson is what he's doing. I don't know. That felt odd. But a good match. I mean, also Stu Grayson is strong, and I'm glad he got on a pay-per-view, even if it was the pre-show, but that you can watch that on YouTube. So there you go. Los Ingobernables de Japón. Shingo Takagi, Bushi, and Himuro Takahashi defeated United Empire, Jeff Cobb, Kyle Fletcher, TJP by pinfall. TJP lost a match, and I am happy because I do not like that wrestler or that person that is that wrestler. I don't like either part of it. So happy to see him lose. That's great. Also, Shingo Takagi fucking kicks ass. He should have been on the main card because Shingo is awesome. No disrespect to the other guys, but Shingo fucking whips ass. So would have liked to seen him on the main card. A question from Virdov. Have you built a 3-in-1 before? Thinking about picking up one for the variety? Yes. I like 3-in-1s a lot. So obviously, my needs are a little different than everyone else's, or most people, I should say, because my needs are streamer needs, right? One of the reasons why a 3-in-1 is so great is I get to build 3 different things with the same kit. It's one of the most cost-effective things in anything that I build on stream, right? Because, like, it'll take, even the smaller ones still take a stream or two to build it, and it didn't cost that much money. Lego has, their Lego tax for their kits that are licensed. These are not licensed properties, and so it's inexpensive. And they're fun. I really like 3-in-1s. There's a 3-in-1 robot that's really great. You make like a jet, and I forget what the third one is, but it's like this like child's dream of what a robot should look like. That I think is probably the best one. The Space Shuttle 3-in-1 is also fun. There are a lot of them. Star Wars kits are like, if you ever see a Star Wars kit that you like and you think the price is reasonable, just get it. Even if you're like, I have such a backlog, I'm never going to have time to build this, just get it. Because as soon as that thing gets even a little hard to find, the price will double. It's just ridiculous how expensive Lego kits become once they stop making them regularly. Especially Star Wars. Star Wars tax is just so high. But I like 3-in-1s. They are fun because, look, obviously, you're like, oh, it's all the same color. Like, I built this owl, and now I'm building a squirrel and a bunny, and it's all the same purple and whatever. But it's like, I don't know. It's silly in a way that I can appreciate. I just finished the lighthouse. Oh, thank you for the follow, Virdov. I appreciate that. A fun build. Thanks for your thoughts. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I like them. I enjoy the 3-in-1s. Sometimes it's fun to see, like, oh, this part was only for this one kit. Or then later you'll be like, oh, okay, so this part here, it's the eyes. Obviously the eyes are going to use for all this. Or, oh, they turn this around, and this thing that was a leg is a wing. Oh, that's interesting. Like, I don't know. I think from a technical standpoint, it's kind of fun. Getting back into the wrestling that such a good wrestling show last night, talking about Forbidden Door 2023. We are now at the point where we're going to talk about the main card, right? So, the first match, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, MJF, retained his title, the AEW World Championship, against Hiroshi Tanahashi by pinfall. So we opened the show with the world title. You're like, open the show with the world title? That's weird. Not really when you think about the fact that the New Japan titles, like Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega, that's pretty much considered a main event. Danielson and Okada that's going to be your main event. That doesn't have a title. You don't want like in between those matches to be MJF. So instead, you start with it. The vibe was different. Also, people were like a little worried because the match that Tanahashi had this week in the lead up was kind of slow and like he's older now and moving a little slower and it's like is this going to work? And I think people forget, and occasionally I do too, that MJF, while a very good wrestler, his MO is slowing the pace down. So those two worked at a good pace for the two of them. It worked out pretty well. You got some good spots, some silly spots. Bryce Rensburg, who worked the first match and the last match, got to have some shenanigans, which Bryce loves shenanigans, and some fun moments. I thought overall, really strong opener. Good, look, was this MJF's best match this year? No. He had an Iron Man with Bryan Danielson. That's still gonna be MJF's best match at the end of this year. But like it was good. Thought it was good. CM Punk defeated Satoshi Kojima by pinfall in the Men's Owens Cup tournament first round. How do you feel about the Nintendo Lego kits? I'm a huge Zelda mark and may spring for the rumored Deku Tree. I have not bought any of those. They're too expensive. All of the Nintendo Lego is just out of my price range because I am underemployed, and I have been for a while. I cannot justify the price on any of those Nintendo kits, so I have not built any of them. So I think the question block I thought looks incredible. I think the NES and the TV, I think the look of them is really good, but I can't tell you about the build. I can't tell you anything about the process because I just can't. I can't do it. But I do think those are neat kits. But yeah, I just I don't have any experience putting them together. As mentioned earlier, CM Punk did get an elbow drop to his genital region by mistake. That seemed to be, of course, by mistake. Satoshi Kojima is an old wrestler. He can still go. He is still really fun to watch. The crowd, look, in the pre-show, they mentioned this match, and not all of the crowd, of course, but a large portion of the crowd was just like, boo. They just booed the shit out of it. When he came out, yes, there were people cheering him. But there were a lot of people who were not interested in CM Punk and what he's up to. And that's great. That's fun and good. And him at the end of the match, which we all knew he was going to win, holding up Kojima's hand, like people were like, yeah. Come on. It was expected. People were expecting that Punk is going to get cheered in Chicago and mixed results at best anywhere else. Anyone who didn't think that was the outcome is fooling themselves. It depends on what they do with it. If they just like to pretend that isn't happening, if it plays in the storylines, we don't know. But anyway, this was a fine match. It was like maybe a couple of minutes longer than I was expecting, but I would say it was fine. Orange Cassidy defended and retained his international championship against Zack Sabre Jr., Katsudori Shibata, and Daniel Garcia. Multiple people I knew were convinced that Daniel Garcia was going to sneak a victory here because he didn't have a belt and it would be interesting. And I was like, Orange Cassidy's going to... If Orange Cassidy loses his belt, in my assumption, that is, if Orange Cassidy drops this title, he will drop it in London for All In. And I think he's going to drop it to Zack Sabre Jr. That's my guess. Obviously, I don't know. That's my thought there. I didn't think Orange Cassidy is such an incredible run, so many great defenses, so many stellar matches that I didn't see him losing it in a 4-way fight. It would feel kind of like symbolic of like the kind of wrestler he is to be like, yeah, all right, yeah, sure. Oh yeah, we'll fight for you. Okay, whatever. I'll just win against everybody. And he did kind of steal this win, which I think is fun. I think that's fine. I'm okay with it. But yeah, this was a great match. This felt like the main event of a PWG show, which is that's a positive. That is a compliment. That it was just so fast paced and so many great spots of like these people just don't like each other and are going to keep fighting, and these other people don't like each other, and then oh yeah, they reminding themselves, oh yeah, we're also in a wrestling match and we would like to win that wrestling match and get a title. I thought it was really fun, and I know Orange Cassidy personally. We have not hung out in a while, but through oddities with mutual friends and some people that I knew that worked at Shikara, he was involved in some stuff that I did in New York, and that guy fucking rules as a person. And so I am so excited. I was excited for his indie runs coming up when he started working without the mask. And now I'm incredibly thrilled for his wonderful runs here in AEW. Just a great dude, working super fucking hard. Sonata defeated Jungle Boy Jack Perry, which everyone was expecting. This was the shortest, the second shortest match on the card. I thought it'd be the shortest. Tony versus Willow was the shortest match on the main card. So I did think this was going to be a little shorter, but it wasn't. Look, did it in any moment did I think that Jungle Boy Jack Perry was going to become the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion? No. I never thought that was possible. Did I think it would be a solid enough match? Yeah, and it was. The main story of the match really is, afterwards, he attacked Hook, his quote-unquote best friend, Hook. They've been tag teaming together. And so now, Jack Perry is a heel. I have proposed that he, instead of being Jungle Boy, he go by City Man. That he should just be Jack Perry. Obviously, he should be Jack Perry. He should just, but whatever. He's there. He is a, he attacked Hook. Maybe he will give Hook's first loss in AEW. I don't know. I think it would be weird to turn Jack Perry heel, have him feud with Hook, and then lose. But I don't know. Sonata can still fucking go. It is still great. It is a little odd to have the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion in a match with a guy that no one expected, no one thought was going to win and didn't. And then, yes, they have been building to drop Jungle Boy because he became Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and then he was Jack. They call him Jack a lot. They've been teasing it. The heel turn does kind of come out of nowhere, and maybe they'll be able to justify that a little bit better. But I've been joking for now. It's like, well, one, Danhausen is actually I should say, Hook's best friend, and two, Hook doesn't have a best friend. Hook likes chips and tolerates everyone else. So, who knows? Go between for Jungle Boy and City Man is Florida guy. Yes, if it was Florida guy Jack Perry, that would also work pretty well. All right, so how do you want to be like that? Gotcha. All right, building our bird. Yeah, weird placement in there. Then we have the Elite, which is Hangman Adam Page, Matt Jackson, and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks. When they're together, they're the Elite. It was the Elite teaming with Eddie Kingston, who hates them in kayfabe, does not like them in kayfabe, but wanted to fight the other team, so he joined in. And the guy that he respects, even if he doesn't trust him, but also is always up for a fight and was interested in joining their crew, Tomohiro Ishii, the Stone Pitbull. Just a slab of a man. A man with a man that could not fold into a pretzel. I don't believe that man can sit in chairs. I feel like he hovers. because that man does not bend like he should. He's just a squat, stout fighter, and I love that about him. And then, of course, Eddie Kingston in there. Eddie Kingston back on AEW because even though he quit the quote-unquote quit the company, he didn't quit his hatred for Claudio Castagnoli on the Blackpool Combat Club side. John Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and Claudio Castagnoli. And Konosuke Takeshita and Shota Umino, who is always just kind of been a babyface, really playing up being a heel, doing a pretty good job. Kind of an afterthought in this match as a 5-on-5. It feels like they wanted to get more than just Takeshita involved from the New Japan side, so they made it a 5-on-5. And I think that worked. This was all over the place. This was a nonsense match. The Elite, Eddie and Ishii won, which is wild. I did not expect that. I was wrong. I thought for sure that they were going to lose because I thought Eddie would self-destruct. Eddie hates kayfabe, hates Claudio so much that I thought he would fuck it up, but he didn't. Also, there was a point where he stopped the Bucks from attacking his opponent, John Moxley, because he doesn't want to fight Moxley because he still loves Mox. Which I thought was a fun element because Eddie has ingrained in him the desire to protect his friend John, even if his friend John is with a bunch of assholes that he doesn't like, because he doesn't really care about Yuta, but he doesn't like Claudio, and he doesn't really respect Bryan Danielson. So of course he's fucking furious that John's been hanging out with these people. And I think that's just great continuing stories. I don't know what... my assumption is the next thing for Eddie is another fight with Claudio, but I don't know. I don't know if that's actually the next thing. But winning the match wasn't really important to Eddie because he didn't get to hurt Claudio enough, which I also love for that character. In what was unfortunately the shortest match of the night and kind of an afterthought, but also still fucking good, we had Toni Storm defending the AEW Women's World Championship against Willow Nightingale. Willow rules. I will hear nothing to the contrary. Willow Nightingale is a fantastic wrestler and a good person. She was not going to win. She has a belt for New Japan. She's going to have a match with Julia coming up, which is going to be fucking rad, which is cool. I did not expect her to win. One of the major issues with the AEW versus New Japan is because New Japan has a women's division. It's just it's only a couple women, and Stardom had a pay-per-view this weekend or coming up, so things kind of fell through the cracks there. But yeah, if you like to see women's wrestling, you weren't going to get it there because we had it here. You got this. You got one match. There were 4 women there because there were 2 women on the side of the villains. So you did get 1 more woman or 2 more women than just a one-on-one match. But yeah, kind of a bummer. What was not a bummer is many people's match of the night. Some people already's match of the year. The incredibly excellent Will Ospreay versus Kenny Omega. Will Ospreay won, becoming the new IWGP United States Heavyweight Champion. A belt that he lost to Kenny. This was an incredible match. This is match of the year contender. They were on the top of the game. The IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, which was being defended by a Canadian American, was won by a British wrestler who operates out of Japan. So, and also the belt was defended in Canada. The U.S. Championship is supposed to be the belt that tours around America, but also gets defended in Japan. It's a whole thing. It was supposed to be a belt that bridged the gap. Will be a fantastic champion for it. Will did a great job. He and Kenny Omega just worked so well together. This was the longest match of the night, clocking in at almost 40 minutes. Was there chicanery that was unnecessary and bad? Yes. Did someone kick out of the one-winged angel? Kenny Omega's finisher, the one-winged angel. Yes. It's final in AEW, the first time ever in AEW, someone kicked out of it. It was Kenny Omega because Will did his own move on him. So Kenny kicked out of his own move. But it did get kicked out. It's very funny. When you steal someone's move, it is never as strong. That's a wrestling fact. It's never as strong when you're stealing a move. You got to do your own moves. Can't finish it with his own finisher. Yeah. That match fucking kicked ass. I don't know what to tell you. It was excellent storytelling. There was some drama. Yes. Does it make it doesn't make any sense that Don Callis was ejected from the match and sent to the back and then came back out again. And even the announcer saying, well, he'll be fined later for this. He's going to get fined for this. Who cares? Why don't you get people out to enforce that rule from the referee? That could have been reworked in a way that made some sense. It did take me out of the match. It's not the end of the world, but it was, I would describe it as a bit frustrating for someone that was just wanted to be completely engaged in the match to have something to take him out. I was bummed by that. But that's my only complaint about the match. There was a lot of blood. I think Will gigged too much. It was the first blood of the night. Asterisk. Toni Storm bled a little bit from her nose. But it was the first intentional blood of the night. They both bled all over the place. I'm not a fan of blading. I'm not a fan of blood anymore in wrestling. I'm just too old for it. But and also it's like a specialty of a bunch of wrestlers in the company, and I don't need to see it. But I did think it was used to great effect. A match that, in my opinion, was too fucking long. Sting, Darby Allin, and Tetsuya Naito defeated Les Suzuki Gods, which is Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, and Minoru Suzuki by pinfall. I knew how this was going to end because Sting is undefeated in AEW. That's right, Sting is an undefeated wrestler. Square Enix, you don't know Seth Rollins. Sorry, we mean Kenny Omega. Yes, we don't know Kenny Omega. But yeah, I thought that that match was longer than it should have been. I don't think a world title match should be shorter than a 6-man tag. Minoru Suzuki continues to be Murder Grandpa and fucking rules. Tetsuya Naito, still a fucking great wrestler. Comes down in a full goddamn suit, dress shirt, unbuttons the dress shirt, tear away pants. Just a fucking... I think I wrote... I didn't need to swear there here to say that, but I think I wrote that Naito fucks because he clearly does. That's a man who fucks. What was this? Wore a full suit, wrestled in a t-shirt. Because underneath the dress shirt, he had a t-shirt. And he wrestled in the t-shirt, and we were going, oh, yeah. And then, Jericho tried to get a cheap shot after the match for storyline reasons. And it was very clear that Naito was like, yeah, match is done. Sure, I'll sell that you hit me. Sure. Okay, I'm out of here. Because people were like, oh, Naito's not going to be at the press conference? I was like, Naito's fucking already on a plane back to Japan. What are you talking about? The man got his money. He did the match. He wrestled with Sting. That pleases Naito. If you told me that Naito forgot that he wrestled Chris Jericho, I'd believe you. The man has wrestled a lot of people. It's like, nah. And then the main event, Bryan Danielson versus Kazuki Okada. Danielson Okada. Who really is the best in the world? Well, at least for this night, the best in the world was Bryan Danielson, who won by submission. He won by a weird modified submission that has no name and is not the submission that Daniel Bryan uses. I did not. Here's the thing. Do I think that it makes sense for Bryan Danielson to defeat Okada? Fuck yeah, I do think that. Of course. Bryan Danielson is a great fucking wrestler who apparently legitimately injured himself during that match. And so that submission was most likely him saying, well, my arm is messed up, so I shouldn't be able to use the label lock. I'll do a different submission. That's what it seems like. We don't know. We won't know. Maybe someday people will tell us and we'll believe them, or we'll say, oh, man, that's maybe apocryphal. But yes, he actually legitimately injured himself in that match. It seems like it went really well. It's a great match. He is phenomenal. I did not think that he would win. I thought Okada was going to win because Okada has the G1, which is a New Japan tournament coming up. But now the people are saying, oh, no, well, so Okada tapped out because he has to protect himself because of the G1, which is like, that's a reasonable enough thing. My main reason why I thought that Danielson was going to lose is because Bryan Danielson doesn't mind losing right now. Bryan Danielson does not mind losing one-on-one matches. He's fine with it. He wants to build up people. He wants to have great matches, and he doesn't have an ego. He does not want a title. He just wants to wrestle. So I thought for sure that he would be putting Okada over. Also, I did think maybe having a New Japan wrestler win at Forbidden Door in the main event would make sense. But, I mean, I guess I always thought that Will Ospreay was going to win. So I guess Will Ospreay winning was there like, well, Will Ospreay's going to win, so Bryan Danielson can win. Which is like, yeah, all right, sure. But I did think that Danielson was going to lose. I don't know. I just thought that was going to happen. So overall, great show. I did not watch the presser, the media scrum afterwards. Did not stick around. Did not watch that. Did not particularly care about that. Let's see. Things about that. A couple things I forgot to say. Taz, the wrestler Taz, commentator Taz, who worked half the night. He traded off with Tony Schiavone. He is the father of Hook. And he is a great actor because he played the role of guy who is pissed off. Like, he didn't get up, right? Because he's a commentator. He's a professional. So he's not going to get up and chase down Jungle Boy for Cold Clock and his son. But he did take his glasses off to show that he was serious. And he said, look, I don't even have to do anything. He's a dead man. You know, obviously implying that Hook is not going to be thrilled about this and not going to take this lying down. But Twitter Taz, who is more free than announcer Taz, just retweeted, like a clip of it and saying, you fucked up, which I think is really fun. But yeah, Taz doesn't have to get involved in any of this. It's like, and then the other announcers are playing along with being like, Taz, obviously, like, your thoughts on what just happened. I thought that was really fun. Because they're like, why didn't he get up? And it's like, because Taz had a job to do. He's a professional. You got to do the work. That's Taz is a character. But overall, incredible show. Great matches. As always with All Elite Wrestling, the build was not good. The build to a lot of these matches were, hey, fight me. Okay. And then one part it was like, hey, fight me. No. 1 week later. You're going to fight me though, right? Yeah. Like, okay. Obviously, you've got people performing in Japan, performing in America predominantly. It's hard to make it work. Yes, like NPCs in Street Fighter 6. Yeah. You also have an issue with, I don't want to get too deep in this, but so AEW has wrestlers who also work at AAA, one of the biggest Mexican promotions, right? New Japan has a partnership with the other big Mexican wrestling promotion, CMLL. CMLL and AAA hate each other. So there were no wrestlers on the card who also work for AAA, with the exception of Kenny Omega, who's been their champion before. But like, Kenny's worked everywhere, and it's okay for Kenny. But like, you were not going to see Fenix on there. Ray Fenix, not going to be on that card. Andrade, who came back. Andrade's not going to be on that card. Roosh, who left AAA but might be coming back, and also that might be a work and not a real thing, not on the card. You just weren't going to see those folks on the card, and that's a shame because they're great wrestlers. So that's kind of a bummer. What major promotions has Kenny not worked for? So Kenny Omega, I mean, I'm going to look at, like, Kenny Omega has not properly worked for WWE. I believe that is probably the biggest that he is not. But let's look at Kenny Omega on Cage Match. Show me Kenny Omega Cage Match. Let's see. We're going to go to cagematch.com. Look up Kenny Omega. And then I'm going to hit Rivals, Tournaments, Tag Teams, Article, Career Highlights, Matches, Entourage, Books. Wait, I can't find the... Sometimes you can hit, like, companies. Obviously, cagematch.com is not, like, the definitive, but I'm going to click on titles. Titles is good because it shows you all of the different promotions on there. So AEW, AAA, Impact. He has not worked, I believe, at CMLL. Maybe he has. DDT, Extreme Champion, New Japan, lots of New Japan, obviously. Yeah, he was the PCW Heavyweight Champion for over 1,000 days. What the fuck? What is PCW? Oh, that's the Premier Championship Wrestling. Premier Championship Wrestling. He was their champ for 1,000 days, over 4 reigns. Yeah, just like a lot of companies. He's worked many places. Also, he was for a time, for 5 days, he was All Japan World Champion, which rules. That's a nonsense thing that he was for 5 days the All Japan Pro Champion. I mean, is the All Japan of when he won it the same All Japan you think there? Was he never ever on TNA in his form? So he was the Impact World Champion. So technically he has appeared on Impact. So he never had a contract with them. That was part of the partnership. So I do not believe that he ever actually showed up and earned a paycheck from TNA Impact. Just is. But he is their world champion, so it sort of counts. Even though he was under contract with AEW and it was, different. All right. Bird has wings and a tail. We are almost done with this parrot. We will finish the parrot, and then we will start taking all it all apart so that we can build another bird, or another animal, I should say, because we're going to move on to the fish and do the undersea. But that's next, the next thing. But right now, what we're going to do is, we're going to take a pause for the cause. Yes, he's been on look, has Kenny performed on Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling? No. He's performed with Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestlers and some independent shows with them and AEW, but he's never appeared there, and he should, because it would be fucking funny. I also don't know if he's ever done Pro Wrestling Noah. That might be the one big one. I don't know if Kenny's ever done a Pro Wrestling Noah show. He probably has, but he might not have. Anyway, to change that subject, hey, again, I'm going to have to figure this out so the lighting doesn't look like this. He has not done League of Heels. No. We've not had Kenny. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build Bear Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Being a subscriber is the easy way to support what I do here. This is the pause for the cause. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. Everything I'm going to talk about tonight is optional. You don't have to do any of these things. If you would like to, if you'd like to support, you're more than welcome to. We had some subscribers tonight, which is very kind of y'all. John resubbed with Prime. That's another way to support me. If you have Amazon Prime, you link it with your Twitch. You get a sub you could use for anybody. Why not use it for me? Cash Money, as I said, you could gift a sub. We had so many gifted subs this month. It's ridiculous how many gifted subs we've had. I don't know the exact number, but it's a lot of subs. So thank you to everybody that's gifted a sub. Also, bits and coins always appreciated. If you want to join Harold, there, you could always do some bits. That's another way to support me. Because I am not a partner, I don't have hyper chat. But I'll tell you right now, don't do a hyper chat. Support me in any other way but hyper chats, because the cut is terrible. If you think the cut of becoming a subscriber is bad, just donate. I'll tell you in a minute how to donate. That's way better. Don't hyper chat anybody, because the cut is terrible for that shit. It's super chat. It's their equivalent of super chat in YouTube, but it's bad. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/PatBaer. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. We're going to get back to building in a bit, but I do want to just do my ads. Because I got a Patreon. I got a YouTube channel. You become a member of that YouTube channel. For $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos a day early. So you'd get my Wednesday video tomorrow instead of Wednesday. And as I mentioned, you could just do direct donations through PayPal or Stream Elements or Coffee. Everything I make through direct donations, through Patreon, through YouTube, which includes watching my videos, because AdSense, so watch my videos, that helps me make money. And Twitch, all goes into a fund. I buy model kits with that fund. I have a backlog of some Lego and some model kits ready to go. But also, this lovely bird that I'm working on right now. This was purchased off my Amazon wish list. I also have 2 other things from my Amazon wish list that I'd be happy to build. And because they jump the queue and they become the next thing that I work on. If you would also like to get something for me, maybe a belated birthday gift. Maybe you didn't know my birthday was on Friday. You didn't get around to it. You want to buy something for me to build on stream. I'll make a dedicated video about that thing for YouTube as well. It's called a mailbag video. I have inexpensive Lego. I have expensive Lego. I've got model kits of all shapes and sizes and prices, with free shipping, with not free shipping, all kinds of different things. Take a look. See if there's something there that strikes your fancy that you're like, I would love to see Pat build this. I want to buy Pat the Gundam Lupus Thorn, because that's a cool looking Gundam. Or I want Pat to build the Nissan Skyline GTR from Too Fast, Too Furious. So I'm going to get that for Pat to build. You could do that. A bunch of different stuff. Inexpensive, expensive, just ridiculously expensive kits, all kinds of different things. Some gear, because it's always nice to have some options for things people don't quite know what to buy. And like I said, those become the next things that I pick up. Although let's see if there's something there that you'd like to see me build. Let's see. An alternative to my Amazon wish list is my Throne wish list, because it's nice to have alternatives. So go to my Throne wish list, see if there's something there that strikes your fancy that you'll see me build. Or you could always go to USA Gundam Store. USA Gundam Store is a place that you can buy gift cards. If you have an account there, you make an account, you get a gift card, they send you an email with the gift card code. Then you send me a whisper here on Twitch with that code. I will use it, and I will buy something on USA Gundam Store. And that's what Dustin did. I thank Dustin very much. That's hopefully going to be in the mail soon. But I bought a Witcher Mercury kit with that. I'm very excited to put that together. So all those are ways to support me that cost money. If you want to support me in a way that doesn't cost any money, I have a Discord, and you're welcome to join that Discord. I post build photos at the end of every stream. People post stuff they're working on. A lot of people just chat about whatever. There's a guy in there that rarely watches my streams, but he still wants to talk about model kits, and I think that's fine. There's some people in there that just want to post stuff they think I'd be interested in the general chat. That's also fine. I like it. It's a nice little community that I'm happy exists. A couple of video links for you to check out. Pat Baer's Anime Club is an ongoing video series that I do. Tomorrow I will be recording the next one because I do live ones quarterly. But this one was one I recorded on my own that's been up for a few days. John says, I'll build a model kit sometime this month and share in the Discord. I appreciate that, John. I hope you do get some building in, and I hope you share when you do. This episode that I put up at Pat Baer's Anime Club is a little peek behind the curtain in how I find anime to watch. Both upcoming stuff. How do I find out where it's going to be and when it's going to come out and how to watch it, what services I need. But also, what about older anime? Like, if I just want to watch, like, oh, I know where to watch Bocchi the Rock, but how many different places can I watch Cowboy Bebop? And which ones are services where I can get an HD? And which ones are ads? Like, how do you find that stuff? How do you, like, what if you want to watch, like, Gunsmith casts? Like, how do you find that? And so I kind of go in and talk about that in the video. So check the video out if you haven't already. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where every week I write and perform a character piece. And it's barely rehearsed, but it is rehearsed. It's not improv. I've written it, and I rehearse it, and I perform it. And this most recent one, there's going to be a new one out on Wednesday. But this most recent one, it's called The Commercial. And the premise is that I'm playing a guy who inherited a furniture store and doesn't know the first thing about furniture or running a business. And it's like a local commercial. It's like an honest local commercial. That's the premise of that character piece. I'm so washed out. I'm going to have to adjust the brightness tomorrow before my regular stream, my anime stream. I got to get this fixed. It's too bright. Everything's washed out. Okay, so what's going to happen now is we're going to talk about some anime. I did not stream on Saturday, so I have the shows I normally talk about on Saturday, and then I have one show I normally talk about on Monday. So we're going to talk about some anime. We're going to finish this bird, then we're going to start disassembling and getting ready to work on our next thing. But also, a thing that has to happen now is I have to drink some water because I'm very thirsty. So we're going to dramatically transition back to the overhead. I'm going to drink a little water, and then we're going to talk about anime and finish this bird. So let's go. Yeah. Water breaks are helpful. It goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway. Take care of yourselves, friends. My streams are 2 hours because that's how much I can build a model kit before I start making terrible mistakes and my voice starts getting mad at me. But for you, I might be the second person you've watched tonight. I might be the first of several you're going to watch tonight. Make sure you're taking breaks. Make sure you're stretching. Make sure if you're sitting like this, that you kind of like pull your body back and kind of like get comfortable. Drink some water. Have a snack. Have a meal. Take care of yourselves. I am happy you are spending some of your time with me. I would like you to be healthy. Stretch breaks are really good. My end of my stream is we raid. I say hi to the person that I'm raiding. I take my headphones off and I stand up and stretch after I shut down OBS. And then I will chat with the person that I've raided and get ready to upload the local archive to YouTube and all of that. But like one of my primary things is I also have to like stretch out and relax and like not be in a bad way. I got to make sure that I'm okay because I am leaning forward constantly while I do this because I should be here, but my hands don't reach right. I'm doing my best. My old old school table that I used when I was still in New York was taller than this table, and I was able to be very comfortable. I didn't have to lean forward like this. But what are you going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to you about anime. So we have 4 shows to talk about here. I feel that how do we get so old? Yep, time. It's all time. Okay, so we should talk about the 13th and final episode of season 1. It probably won't get a season 2 of My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. I am going to read this manga. Even if I know what happened in this episode or what happened in this series, I'm going to read this manga because this show is adorable. I'm so glad they had 13 episodes so they could take their time with the series and go at a slow pace because it was so lovely to watch. So we had the annoying girl that maybe could have been introduced earlier in the season, but well, it is what it is. She, she's the childhood friend who always had a crush on Yamada. Finally, tells Yamada her feelings for him, and he listens, and he's like, I don't share those feelings, and she knew, and then that's all we see of her because she's like, yeah, okay, well, yeah. Yes. Also, she's aware of his feelings for our girl, Akane, who is going out with some of the gaming friends, some of our friends from gaming, the characters we've seen throughout the show. They're all going out, and let's see. They get a bunch of free drinks. Akane ends up drinking a lot, and she's kind of dizzy by the time Yamada joins them. Of course, Akane also wants to tell Yamada her feelings for him. She does not know about this other thing that happened, but she, is interested in telling him how she feels. Let's see what else happens. Okay. So he's like, I'm gonna take you home. And it's like, oh man, we're not gonna get this. Is the last episode. We're not gonna get people talking about their feelings and stuff. Okay. He buys a bottle of water for her on the way home. And then she kind of realizes, oh, I'm being, rude. And so she apologizes. She kind of sobers up a little bit as she realizes that, she's a little out of control. Let's see what we get here. She's like, hey, I want you to tell me how you feel about me. She's finally okay, gotta be honest and earnest about it. She wants to know, what's up. And they talk about, he's like, yeah, I like you. Busted. Yeah, I like you. And this is nice because she's been drinking. He's like, hey, also, I'm going to tell you again tomorrow that I like you, which is fun. It's cute. In case that he forgets. And I love that. And she's like, hey, I want to know if I can call you. And she's like, I don't know if this is a dream. And then he hugs her. And he's like, I'm going to call you tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about it. And that's basically the end of the episode and the end of the series. Except that there's a post-credits scenes of Akane hanging out with her friends, Momo, who is the best girl in the show, supporting girl, and just being like, yeah, it's weird because he's younger, and they're like, it didn't work out the last time you dated someone who was younger. But she's like, nah, you know what? I'm so happy to be with him, and I feel so safe for them. Even though he's a little absent-minded, he still really pays attention to what's going on. And that's the end of the show. We don't really get to see them be together. I feel like that's a season 2 if there is one of their relationship together. But this was the show was called My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. I did have a friend who was like, I wish there was more of them playing games together, because I really liked the part where you had the girl who became a gamer because the guy she was dating was a gamer, and then stuck around being a gamer because she had made friends in that. And that was the part that my friend really liked and appreciated. I'm like, yeah, I can see that, but I don't know. I think they're just so cute together. This is a lovely little series that I really enjoyed. I highly recommend it. There were some fun shows this season. There were a lot of characters who were introduced just to be assholes that I didn't particularly love. I also think that too often the characters progressed because Akane got hurt and Yamada was nice about it, and that felt a little like not my favorite. But overall, um, a quality series. I can't complain too much about. So yeah, highly recommended. Of course, I'll talk more about that tomorrow probably. But yeah, highly recommend My Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. We also had the 12th and final episode of Otaku Elf. I'll probably talk a little faster about this one because I have a little less to say. So we have a ritual, and our girl Koito has to do well in this ritual, and eventually, like she's supposed to shoot this arrow at this thing, and it's the whole symbolic thing, and she's not doing great. Eventually, she just kind of almost sort of gives up and shoots it in the air, and then Elda, our elf, who has been migrated to America many years ago, or not America, Japan, America, Earth. She's been migrated to Earth because it's sort of an isekai. She catches the target and jumps in the air with the target so that the arrow falls into the target. And then there's a bunch of good food because of that. And then Elda is encouraged, or she's just like, Elda's having bad times as we're wrapping up this episode. Just a bunch of nonsense. And she thinks she maybe is cursed. So she does a ritual with Koito. And then she has an oracle eventually. And she asks for sea bream dinner. Because she wants to make the cheekbones of the sea bream into a lucky charm. But they don't have that. They just have mackerel. She's like, okay. And then Elda gets a good fortune slip. But also they've been cheating to get that good fortune slip. So they get called out for that. And that's the end of the episode. This felt like a thing that, like, if this had been 11 episodes, then that ending of the arrow would have been symbolic and a nice way to end it. But instead, they had like just an extra episode. This show is very cute. I enjoyed it. There's not a lot to say about this particular episode, though. But the idea of an otaku elf is a funny idea of a girl that was summoned to Earth and just is a shut-in for many, many years because they treat her as like a shrine maiden. But she's just like an elf that fell in love with cool Japanese shit. And it's like, yeah, same. And we're done with a bird. This bird has been completed. We built a bird. There are a few pieces that are left over that might get used in some other things, or they're just extras. But overall, this is the end of this bird. I'll tilt it so we can see. Here's our bird here. You can see that. Maybe I'll widen. Let's zoom out a little. Yeah, we'll just do this. Let's do that so that we can be wide out a little bit here. But here's our bird. It's got some movement in the tail. The wings move back and forth. I don't believe the head does. The head is stationary. You can turn the bird here on its stand around. But yeah. There's our bird. The bird is the word. We've built a parrot. And I'm going to take a photo of this bird, and then we will start disassembling while I talk about Too Cute Crisis. So our first thing is done. We're going to move on. Next, we will be working on the fish, because I think that would be fun, and then the frog will be the last one. I've been told that this is a frog, that this is not a toad, that this is a poisonous frog. So that is the third thing we'll build, but we're going to move on to the fish here. I got to take a photo of this because I need proof that it was built. All right. Bird. Bird. One of those photos will be good. All right, now we got to disassemble. We'll do a full null here. We're going to take all this apart. I do have my brick separator in case anything gets stuck together. But should be easy. And then I'm just going to kind of separate it by color. so that I can easily find all of the pieces that we need. Each of the other ones that we have to do here will have less pieces, so they will be easier to find stuff to put together here. And when we have to disassemble this fish, it will be easier to disassemble than disassembling this parrot here. So yes, I'm just going to separate by color and use the brick separator where necessary. This, pull that there. And while I am doing that, I can tell you about Too Cute Crisis. If you haven't been watching this series, it is about aliens that are part of a mission to go to planets and decide if those planets should continue to exist or not, if they are too threatening or too dangerous to exist. Earth was on the chopping block, but then our main girl met a cat for the first time. And that's basically the fucking plot of this show is, oh wait, Earth animals are pretty cool, but we're scared of Earth animals, but they're pretty cute and cool. And that's basically the show. And the art looks nice. The animation isn't always great. It's definitely not an expensive show, but it's a fun show. And episode 12, this was basically like just a lot of nonsense of people just being like, the researcher, the person in charge of this whole thing, finally shows up. But he's like, look, I don't care what all you've said. No animal is cuter than my pet. Baerly Rehearsed number 24. In world news, I tried pad thai for the first time. 1,000% accurate for small town America. Oh, yes. Baerly Rehearsed 24, which is the Danny Local with local news. Yeah, that was local news of just like, tried pad thai. It's pretty good. But yes, that is very like, I've been hearing about this thing for a while. I appreciate that. I appreciate you enjoyed that. So anyway, he's just like, hey, my pet is, this is the coolest thing in the world. And then they see a giraffe and a panda, and they're just like, oh, we were wrong. We were very wrong. Earth has cute animals. And that's basically, I mean, that's been the whole plot of this entire series, but that is basically the plot of this episode. And that's the thing, right? The thing that didn't really occur to me until now is the reason why they have weird opinions of pets is because all of the pets they've ever seen before have been like, not gross, but like cute in a like weird way. They've been weird cute. The way some animals we're like, only an owner could love that pet. Like it's that kind of thing. That's just been their MO. So it makes sense that they just they've never had a concept of what a cute animal should look like because they never had one. They just have weird standards. They have different standards than us because they're aliens. Let's see. And then we had Lisa is like kind of... So basically, Lisa is afraid that some of her colleagues are going to die from like overload, which is just a funny idea. Let's see. Okay. The captain like basically goes like Super Saiyan at one point to stay very still because he doesn't want to freak out, which is a silly little scene. There's some goofy scenes in this that I enjoyed and appreciated. Let's see what else happens in this episode. It kind of just ends. It just ends kind of. There's no big climax to it. It's a little anticlimactic. Basically, Lisa gives a big speech where she's just like, hey, Earth is cool and deserves further study. So that way she can continue to study the world and stay with her cat. And we see little clips of like other characters from the show. It's not the strongest ending, but the show basically proved that you don't need to do a lot. You just need to show cute animals and then have aliens be like, what the fuck? I mean, not those exact words, but freaked out about how much they love that cute animal. So that was Too Cute Crisis. Now, for a different kind of crisis, Oh, episode 11 of 12, which is also episode 23 of 24. The second season, Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury. It's Witch from Mercury Monday. We got to talk about it. Oh boy. A lot happened this episode. Anything planned for your 1000th episode of Anime Club? So actually, yes. Pat Bear's Anime Club, it just so happened, coincidentally, that the 1000th episode is going to be my next live recorded episode. I do these every season. I'm actually recording it tomorrow, and then it will go up on my YouTube on Monday. But Pat Bear's Anime Club Live, those episodes are my end of season review and my wrap up and my preview of the next season. So this anime season, some shows have already ended. A bunch of them are coming close to being over. And so I will have the opportunity to talk about those shows. We go through every show. I say like, hey, I didn't watch Birdie Wink season 2, but some people were disappointed in how it ended. But I hope you weren't disappointed because that show is great. Or I'll go and like, yeah, I've been watching Kuma Bear season 2. It's more Kuma Bear and fun. Like that kind of thing. We'll go through all the shows. Or I didn't watch this because it was about idols, and I don't watch a lot of idol anime. Or except this one idol anime show that I did watch. So we'll go through that. That's tomorrow. We do need to talk about Witcher Mercury this episode. So Suletta in her new Gundam, her new old Gundam, is facing off against Eri, her sister, in the Ariel with the Quiet Zero system backing her up. And Earth House is being intercepted by the drones. Earth House is like trying to board and stop Quiet Zero. Lashbrook says, yeah, Birdie Wing did not really end well. The back half of the show was still good, but the highs weren't as high. Yeah, it felt like it came like maybe they needed a little more time. Maybe they shouldn't have immediately put out this season 2. I don't know. Again, I didn't watch it, so I can only say how I saw there was people who were disappointed by it. But I can't say for sure. I can't say I was because I didn't watch it. Let's see. But I was watching this episode of Mobile Suit Gundam. So, but then Quiet Zero kind of shuts down for a second. So the team gets to board the battle station. Ghoul faces Lauda, but the Schwarzette, which is fucking so cool. God, this is a cool looking design for a Gundam. Holy shit. That thing is just tough as hell. But Ghoul allows his own mobile suit to get stabbed, and then Lauda kind of comes back to his senses, which is good. And then somebody shows up to kind of help them out. Felsi gets in shows up so that Ghoul doesn't die in an explosion, which that's good. We don't want Ghoul to die. Let's see. Delling calls for an emergency session with the space agency. But they're like, nah, we're going to take this opportunity. We're using this fucking laser. Hey, we got a really strong laser, apparently. We got an interplanetary super laser, and we're going to destroy that shit. Get out of here. Earth House, Prospera shows up to deal with them, but gets disarmed by Elan, while Mjorne uses the back door into Quiet Zero systems, left by her mother. Oh, it's a good mother-daughter pairing. How lovely. To shut down Quiet Zero, but it doesn't. Unfortunately, it's a little too late for that because the League is like, oh yeah? We're still going to do it, which is fucked. And then Eri, still in control of the Ariel, uses the drones, the Quiet Zero drones, to block the shots. But that Gundam is very damaged in the process. So we now have one episode left. Indeed, what an episode. Uh, Gotta say, I was against Prospera until the space capitalists were like, we're going to use the space laser anyway. So, Lashbrook, obviously, here's the thing, right? Nobody's good. This is the Gundam tenet. Like, obviously, you're like, wait, hey, don't use that fucking laser, assholes. Oh, you're just going to use the laser anyway? Fuck off. But also, like, I get it. I still get it. I understand. And she's still bad fucking news. As I've been saying throughout all of this since it was introduced, there's nothing good about a project called Quiet Zero. That's not the code name for a good thing. But yes, obviously, space capitalists, and revenge-seeking murderers. Not a fan that much of either. Also, there was a Harrow with guns. There was a Harrow ball that had a suit that had guns on it. So this show has something for everybody. And the new Gundams are rad as hell. New Gundams are good. A Harrow ball with guns is good. There was some good shit in this episode. And that's the second to last episode of Mobile Suit Gundam, The Witch from Mercury Season 2. What's going to happen next episode? I don't know. Yeah, the Swarzette looks dope. It's very cool. I don't think we're going to see much more of it, but there's some excellent design in this series. Just cool stuff. So, yeah. I don't know where we're going with it. I mean, I have some thoughts of where we go with it. But yeah, a dope series that is continuing to be fun to watch and heartbreaking to watch. And we'll see more of it next week for the finale. All right, we've got some time left in the stream. I want to hear from you, friends that are still watching, which is good because we haven't had a lot of people tonight. We had a good number. Always nice to see on a Monday. But I want to hear from you. What are you watching right now? What are you playing? What are you into? Are you you're reading anything? Did you go to the movies? Did you see anything like that? Are you playing video games? Are you waiting for things? Put them in the chat. I will say on my end, I have been playing Persona 4 Golden with mods. I enjoyed that stream, and I've just been continuing to do that. I have now accomplished my goal, and I have maxed out my level with the Mysterious Fox. I got the big fish that got me permission to go get the bigger fish. I now have the big fishes, and the fox was very happy that I've gotten all the big fishes. So I did all that. It has been fun to play through that. No new mods to report. Just having a good time. My goal is to max level, hang out, and focus on maxing out my hanging out with Kanji. And then also, we have to eventually save Naoto, but we're not there yet. It has been a very fun time playing that video game with all the mods and the cheats and the nonsense. And I don't know how much more I'm going to play of it, but I'm keeping my eye out. I won't stream it again until I get some good mods, some new good mods to showcase. But I'm enjoying what I'm playing. Now I'm going to take a look at here, and that's really been it. I mean, I'm still playing Diablo 4. I still really like Diablo 4. I am a Diablo 4 fan. It is. I'm in the 30s still level-wise because I haven't been able to put enough time into it to really grind my levels up, but I'm having a good time. Playing Hearthstone every day. You know me out there on that Hearthstone grind. Enjoying my time with that. Let's see. John played some Final Fantasy 16, 2/3 of the way through Victory Gundam. Oh, you're in Victory now. Okay. I didn't really vibe with Victory too much. I hope you're having a good time with it. Lord Crash didn't watch Cocaine Beat. Do you mean Cocaine Bear? I think you mean Cocaine Bear, and it was a fun time. Lord Crash, there might be something called Cocaine Beat that I'm unaware of, but I'm assuming you meant Cocaine Bear. But I'm glad you had a good time with whatever it was. Lashbrook, watched a lot of Street Fighter 6 via CEO this weekend. Yes, I did. Okay, Cocaine Bear. Lord Crashing, you don't have to apologize. I was just making sure because I didn't know what Cocaine Beat was. Um, I did not watch any of CEO for Street Fighter 6, but I hope people had a really good time with that because that's a fun video game to watch. I've watched some people play it. Jeff Gerstmann for one, but I have not played it because that is not necessarily my jam. Aristophan is taking a class this week, so my time is more limited. I did see Asteroid City on Sunday, which I really enjoyed. Ooh, I don't know Asteroid City. We're gonna Google it. We're gonna Google it. We're gonna figure out what that is. Oh yeah, we can just do that. Just figure out what that is. What's Asteroid City? Jason Schwartzman, Scarlett Johansson, Tom Hanks. It's a Tom Hanks movie that I don't know much about. Okay. All right. 2023. Oh, it's the Wes Anderson movie. So I do know about it. Okay. I guess I didn't know enough about that to know that it was the new Wes Anderson. I just knew the new Wes Anderson by, oh, it's the new Wes Anderson. Okay, I'll probably watch that. I've I've seen every Wes Anderson movie, so I will probably at some point watch that one as well. It would be kind of weird for me to not. As I have been known to say this, definitely Ristoman. Look, have I liked every movie the guy's ever put out? No, but he made Royal Tenenbaums, so like, he already won. In my opinion, he already won. Like, he's already made an incredible movie that like I come back to all the time. So if he wants to like make a bunch of other movies that maybe I don't love as much, go for it. Already made one of my favorite movies. Like, yeah, sure. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Ursvan. You want to check that out? Good luck with your class. Let's see. I don't have any new games on the agenda. Of course, as I said, I am going to have to get the Bikini Bottom, the bottoms, I should say. I will have to get the paid DLC for Power Wash Simulator, the SpongeBob DLC. I'm going to get that when that comes out, of course. And of course, I'll play that and stream that out next month. Yes, the DLC. Yeah, I'm excited for that. Diablo, I'm still having a good time with. Hearthstone has a new, or soon. I don't think it's out yet. It's coming out, I believe, this week. But Hearthstone is doing a new play style, game type that is like somewhere between standard and wild. It's like some cards, like it's only class cards of certain eras of the game and no neutrals. And that's interesting. And I don't necessarily have a deck for that yet, but I'm interested in trying it out. And it's going to replace Classic, which is good because Classic was like a fun idea for like a minute, but nobody really fucking plays that. So I like the idea. Also, as someone that plays, has been playing the game for a very long time and kind of primarily plays wild formats, I have a lot of cards. So I'm interested in playing around with that. I don't really build standard decks anymore. I get the new cards and I have a lot of the old ones. So I will be interested to see if I can put together what I kind of want to put together is like a Paladin deck, because pure Paladin could be okay. If you can't use neutrals, I could probably build a fun Paladin deck. I could build some that, or like maybe a Shaman Evolve deck would be good for that format currently. I got to look at the cards. I got to see what the limitations are and see what I can build. But some people that I follow were doing some content for it, so I'll be able to check that out. We're just kind of disassembling here. We might not get started with the fish because we had to disassemble this whole thing. But I don't want to get started building it and then find out, oh, I need pieces that were in that because we're reusing them. But we'll continue this session on Thursday. A piece fell. I could feel it bounce and fall, so I have to find that. as I was assembling that is the fear of that. Lord says, I played the demo for Little Guardian, which seems like a more deliberately humorous Papers, Please. Okay. Yeah, I haven't played many demos since. I mean, demos are going to run out. Little Guardsman, not Little Guardian. Okay. Little Guardsman sounds better for what you're describing. Little Guardian sounds like an eco game, like an ICO, Team ICO game. Little Guardian. Not saying that would be a bad thing. Is there anything else that I want to talk with you about tonight? So tomorrow, 9 p.m. Eastern, talking about anime for a couple hours. That'll be good. Getting up pretty early tomorrow so that my my great uncle John, could go to the airport. So I gotta try to go to bed a little early tomorrow. It's fantasy based, so you'll see orcs and such come to your guardhouse. Oh, okay. That's neat. That sounds fun. Thursday stream will be this. It'll be working on Lego here, getting that all together. So that'll be Thursday. We'll work on the fish and the frog. So those will both be smaller builds. So they will most likely be able to get both done, or at least get close to finishing build one and then get close to finishing the other, because they'll be smaller, so they won't take as many of these pieces to put together. So we'll just kind of do that, and then I will just have a bunch of Lego on my desk for this week, which is no problem at all for me. We'll probably talk about on Thursday. We'll talk about the next pay-per-view from WWE, which I believe I'll be watching this weekend. I got to see if people want to get together in my Discord that watches wrestling together, if we want to watch together. That's a Saturday afternoon pay-per-view, so I'll be able to preview on Thursday, even though a couple matches probably won't get decided until SmackDown on Friday, and then there'll be the pay-per-view, and then we'll talk about the pay-per-view that night, because I'll have watched it before. Now that I played the game of seeing which Steam demos are now unplayable. Yes, which ones can you delete because you can't actually play them anymore, because the demos were timed, and you got to find out. Yes, that is a fun in quotes game. Good luck to you there, Lord Crashington. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say. Yeah, so that's Thursday. We'll be working on Lego. We'll talk about that. Finish up some anime conversations on some shows that we'll be wrapping up. Although technically only one show is wrapping up, and one show is a duel. So we can't really finish that up. And then also, I guess on Thursday we'll talk about some manga, because we didn't talk about it today because I had 4 shows to talk about. But since I only have 2 shows to talk about, because Oshinoko is wrapping up, and so I think that we'll probably talk about, I don't know, some manga. I've got a manga that I want to chat about. That is, it's part of the kicked style. It's part of the trope of being kicked out of a party or banished from a kingdom. So I got a show in one of those. We'll talk about that. It's very cute. It's a lovely little series. We'll talk about that. And then, talk about some anime. Of course, we'll talk about only anime tomorrow at 9 p.m. Eastern. I want people to come and watch that stream. That'll be fun. I was hoping we could get a little bit of this next one started, but it just took a long time to disassemble this whole goddamn thing because we used so many Lego to put that together. But now I am properly knolled just about, and I'll be ready to kind of reduce it and sort it a little bit better. Like, you take this, you put that with that, boom. I can find these wherever I need them because they're all together. But yeah, I'll organize this a little bit better so I can find what I need faster. And then we'll build a fish on Thursday. That'll be fun. Yeah, bunch of stuff. We didn't have any, press conferences. We're done with that. But we'll chat about a bunch of things, I'm sure. We haven't done let's take a look at the tech news. Bad news, of course, that Elon Musk's mom was like, he's not going to get in a cage match. Because obviously everybody knew. But it is the funniest outcome that the only thing stopping Elon Musk from being in a cage fight or a street fight was the fact that his mother was like, he's not doing it. That's hilarious to me. That's the best possible outcome if he's not going to do it, because he wasn't. That's just very funny to me. We're gonna end the stream there. We're gonna wrap things up. We're gonna raid. That is how we end every stream around here. Is we're gonna find somebody doing some cool stuff and go hang out with them. On Monday we normally raid Mary Kish, but Mary Kish is not streaming tonight, so we can't raid Mary. But we are gonna find somebody doing awesome stuff on a Monday evening and go give them a little bit of love and attention. We'll find somebody doing some shit that we want to go hang out with. So let's go see who's doing there. We always end with a raid, as Umjot says. Indeed. Who is that? I don't even remember. I don't even know who this is. Why am I following them? Oh, how long have they been streaming? Oh, they've only been going for an hour. We're going to go raid Death by Online, because I forgot. This is Natalie and Danica. They're wonderful. We're going to go raid them, because they've only been going for an hour. So they'll hopefully be streaming for a while. I totally forgot what Death by Online was, and I was like, who is this? It's friends. It's people I know in real life. So we're going to go raid them because they're lovely. Feel free to come along on this raid. You'll have a good time. Thank you for being here. I hope you have an excellent rest of your Monday. I hope you come back tomorrow for talking about anime for too long, and you come back on Thursday for more Lego. I hope everything's great with you, and I'll see you the next time. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the people that renewed their subscription or became subscribers or hit that follow button. I'll see you soon. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.